Hey folks, this is Kalani. I've noticed a few comments here and there talking about players running out of things to do in patch 8.2. They've finished the Eternal Palace raid on at least one difficulty, played through the new Mechagon Mega Dungeon, grinded, whatever you want to say, their way to Exalted with both the Rustbolt Rebellion as well as their new faction friends down in Nazjatar. That's a lot to get through for sure, but a lot of us are in a position where that's all done and dusted. So what comes next? Is there anything else to keep us occupied in patch 8.2 with the reps and everything else taken care of? I think there is. I think there's still quite a bit there. There's always a lot to do in WoW. It just kind of depends what activities scratch your specific itch and how far you want to go to spend a bit more time in Azeroth. Let's have a look at what else you can do during your playtime to keep you busy. I think the most important thing you should do when you start running out of clear objectives in game is to set a few goals. This can be just the one goal, or you can set a few at a time. Just keep in mind that the more goals you work towards at the same time, the longer it might take to actually cross any of the finish lines for some of them. It can be pretty daunting to pick just one goal in WoW, seeing as there's so many different types of content on offer, but really setting your goal in stone can help you keep working towards something each time you sit down to play. For example, my current goal right now is to get rank 3 of every essence on my Demon Hunter. I think I'll only do this on one character, so I don't mind going for absolutely every essence, even the tanking ones. I've actually been enjoying tanking quite a bit in patch 8.2 on the Demon Hunter, so that's even better. I actually just picked up my very last essence, so I have everything at rank 1 at the very least. Now I just need to upgrade them. This is a great goal to work towards because you get to play around with every essence, you get to dip your toe into all sorts of content, you get to look at all of your shiny essences go purple as you get the rank 3s, and you shore up your off specs so you can swap around if the desire ever rises. Mainly, I just want to be able to show off a full list of purples and oranges though, if I'm being honest with you. I like having full sets of things, which is why reputation always bothered me so much when I swap around characters. Going from a full list of Exalted to a list of nothing at all always makes me a little sad. Now for this current goal that I have of attaining all essences at rank 3 or above, I've actually hit a bit of a roadblock. There aren't many essences I can actively work towards right now, which definitely has me feeling a little lost when it comes to working towards goals at the moment. You might look at my list and think, what are you chatting about, Kalani, mate? You only have one rank 3. And while that's entirely true, you cheeky observant chappy you, I still can't do much to get any of the others faster. If we quickly go down the list, the condensed life force comes from the raid items, and I've got all of them that I can this week. I only need one more. Annoying, I know, so when the reset comes around and we take down just one of the bosses I need, I can create that essence on the spot. So that's one waiting for me on Tuesday. The essence of the Focusing Iris comes from your weekly Mythic Plus cache, and obviously I can't get that until Tuesday, so when I get my box when reset day comes around, I can create that essence on the spot too. That's 2 essences at rank 3 waiting for me on reset day, which I can't really do anything about, and it's a little frustrating. The Vision of Perfection comes from the last boss of Mechagon. I need 2 more sprockets, which I can get from hard mode Mechagon next week. If you didn't know, if you do hard mode Mechagon, you actually get 2 sprockets per week instead of just the 1. I have the mission ongoing for the World Bane Resonance, so I can't really do anything on that one but wait, and the rest are limited by dailies due to currency restrictions. So yeah, I'm kind of feeling the need for another goal right now, at least a little one while I'm waiting on these essences. Now there are a few in there that I can work towards without time gating, so I'll chip away at those a little bit every time I log on, whether that's killing a few more Alliance in Mechagon, or trying to get my first win in a battleground each day. I can still progress on maybe 2 or 3 of these essences a little bit at a time. That's what's taking up a good chunk of my playtime outside of Raid, because this is the main goal that I've set for myself right now. I can't wait until Tuesday rolls around because I'm so close to having half my list turn purple, but just one more reset, I guess. The good news is that even if you only have a little bit of playtime each day of every week, you can still work towards this very same goal thanks to that time gating. It doesn't take very long to complete the Mechagon daily, or some of the Nazjatar dailies, or even take down a few bosses in the raid. So if you're looking for a goal in patch 8.2 right now, why not try and get every essence upgraded to rank 3? If you're looking for something that you can progress to a little more reliably, I guess, with a whole list of objectives to tick off, you should have a look at the huge meta achievements in both Mechagon and Nazjatar. The achievement for Mechagon is called Mecha Done. This requires you to kill every rare, collect a crazy number of blueprints, collect all the paint colours of the Mechanocat mount, clear through the dungeon, and quite a few other things. It is a massive time sink, which should be perfect if you're looking for a way to spend your time in Azeroth. You'll have to spend pretty much every minute of your playtime in Mechagon if you want to work towards this, so if you enjoy that zone and want to get yourself a shiny mono-wheeled bike mount, then have at it. You'll probably end up waiting for quite a bit on some of the rare spawns, and I think a good chunk of the rares rotate daily, so you want to keep an eye on Wowhead or something to see which rares are available each day. But if you're stuck with nothing to do, the meta achievements will keep you busy for sure. There is another meta achievement for Nazjatar as well, the Undersea Usurper achievement. I'm a bit further through this one because I've been spending more time in Nazjatar, but I'm still pretty far away. If I wanted to clear through this meta achievement, I still have quite a ways to go. It's the same kind of deal as the Mechagon achievement: kill everything, loot everything, collect everything. Basically just complete the entire zone. 100% it, job's done. You get a crab mount and a cool title for that achievement, so you might be interested in working towards that one instead. You don't have to go into this thinking, I'll clear out this achievement in a single day, because that's not going to happen. But what you can do is say, I'm going to kill a few more rares that I don't have yet today, or I'm going to make sure I get the chest world quest done today to tick a few more of those off the list. You can still work towards these huge meta achievements with a little bit of playtime each day, providing you're working towards the goal you've set. Those are some pretty beefy achievements too, so if you eventually get them done, super kudos to you. Not everyone is going to have that Scuttler crab mount, so you're sure to stick out if you really go for it. If you'd rather focus on character power and progression, there's still a few options for you in this patch specifically. The benthic gear system lets you go so far in terms of power, it's actually pretty insane. A lot of players don't know or don't realize just how powerful this system is. Let me quickly put it into perspective in case you weren't aware. If you've been replacing some of your benthic gear with heroic raid gear, you might actually be lowering your character's power. Some benthic gear, even though it's only 425, if it's fully upgraded with a socket, is worth more than mythic raiding gear. That's how powerful this stuff is. So unless you're fully kitted out in that 425 fully upgraded socketed benthic gear with special effects, you can actually get a little bit more out of this system. It's not quite as simple as saying go get benthic gear, obviously. You need a lot of mana pearls for the upgrades and for the benthic pieces to reroll until you get a socket. It's never going to be worth as much if it doesn't have a socket, so only upgrade benthic gear after you reroll it enough times to get that socket with the effect that you're wanting. For mana pearls specifically, you want to get the mana pearl world quests done, get the bodyguard quest done because they always offer 2 mana pearls each, do the weekly Mardivis' lab thing for up to 7 mana pearls per week, and then try hunt down some Algans after that. You can only get so many mana pearls each day, so it's kind of slow pickings if you're relying entirely on the benthic system, but again, you can progress towards this goal every single day if that's something you're interested in, and this gear can push you way past some other gearing up methods, including the new raid on both normal and heroic difficulty. It's definitely worth it if you're wanting some powerful gear. If you reckon you're pretty much done progressing on your main character in patch 8.2, there's also plenty to get done on any alts you want to play. You basically just multiply everything you've already done and do it all again. Personally, I'm not too fond of alts right now because of the amount of effort they would take to keep up to date for a mythic progression guild, but the beauty of alts is that you don't have to do absolutely everything. In fact, for this patch specifically, getting everything done on an alt would be madness. You only need the best 2 or 3 essences for your specs, for example. I know if I wanted to play my priest a bit, I would only need the Focusing Iris essence and the Lucid Dreams essence. Those 2 will see me through the vast majority of content that I would need. Getting every essence is insanity, but getting just 2? That might not be all too bad. The same goes for any of your alts. Have a look at Wowhead or Icy Veins or even Blood Mallet, anywhere that's got information regarding essences and how powerful they are for your certain specs. Go to the essence section and have a look at which essences are the very best for single target. Those will be your go-to raid essences for the most part, and then AoE or cleave. Those will serve you best in Mythic plus dungeons. Anything past the top few is just for show. I would recommend working on those for your main character, where things for show actually matter, and ignore them entirely on any alts you want to play. Every time I look at my character selection screen, I'm always tempted to start working on my priest. Then I think of all the reps, all the grinding, all the currencies, and unsurprisingly I lose motivation very quickly. But maybe I just need to jump in and give it a go, focusing solely on picking up 2 of the best essences for now and see how things go from there. If I set that goal and work towards it, I might actually get somewhere for a change. You don't have to do everything on every character. Just telling yourself that can make playing alts so much easier. And if you're not all too interested in this patch, or in playing any alts, there's still plenty of other content in WoW to get stuck into. This stuff is always available, so you've probably heard about a good chunk of it by now, but if you don't get out there and actually check it out, it's always just going to stay available instead of completed. I know a lot of people give pet battles a bad rep, but they ended up being super valuable in patch 8.2 with the extra resources, the world quests, and the reputation they gave to anyone who had enough pets to challenge the legendary battles. If that trend continues, well, let's just say I don't like to be left behind. I'll do pet battles if they're rewarding something good. I don't mind leveling up a few pets every now and then, or even hunting down some of the rarer ones if it makes that easier. It gives me another goal to work towards, or something else to do in-game. There was actually one brief period in Warlords of Draenor where I started collecting every pet from every zone. I got pretty far with it. Warlords of Draenor didn't have a great deal to do, as many of you probably know who were playing back then, but then a new patch came around and I got distracted, so pet battles got left behind. So if you're bored right now, getting pet battles set up could help you out in the future, but you might also find another area of the game where you want to collect all of the things. It can be pretty fun sometimes, and then you'll be wondering why you ever ignored pet battles in the first place. You can also focus on a whole bunch of other collectibles like mounts, toys, transmog, all that good stuff. Some of it comes from old raids, old dungeons, old questlines, old areas of the game in general. There are so many expansions worth of content in this game at this point. If you're really stuck for something to do, look for a mount you really want, or a pet, or set up a new transmog and go hunt down all of the pieces. Look for titles, unique items, rare toys you can annoy your raid with. You can even just spend your time farming herbs and ores and professions and fishing if you just want something chill to do while you watch this video on your other screen. Or probably a movie. I guess a movie is more interesting than me, but you get the idea. If you're bored right now in patch 8.2, there are so many different goals you can work towards. You just need to pick one and stick to it. That way you'll feel like you're getting something done because you can start ticking things off the list and see your progress as you go. There's nothing worse than logging into the game, farting around for a bit, checking the clock to see a few hours have somehow disappeared, and feeling like you spent the entire play session AFK. Set some goals. You'll thank me later. If you're looking for a real challenge, you can also step up in PvE. You can go check out the Mechagon hard mode that makes the majority of the fights a lot more difficult and will test your teamwork skills in the last boss encounter, where you have to input random colour combinations every 30 seconds or so, otherwise you and the rest of the world blows up. Weirdly, even if you do blow up the world, you can keep going back and keep trying, so I guess King Mechagon's Doomsday device isn't all that effective right now. Maybe take advantage of that, and as I said earlier, you actually get 2 sprockets towards your rank 3 Visions of Perfection per week if you complete it on hard mode. Maybe something to think about. You can also push your Mythic plus Dungeon keys and Raider IO score higher and higher to keep yourself challenged in that kind of content, and if you want to take things to the real extreme, why not work your way up to a Mythic raiding guild? I personally only raid 2 nights a week, 6 hours total, and we're currently 3 out of 8 Mythic. As soon as Lady Ashvane falls, I expect we'll make our way through another few bosses, so decent progression doesn't have to cost you 5 of your nights a week. You just need a group of dedicated, good players. You can be one of those players if you really want to be. So how are you feeling about patch 8.2 now that a few weeks have gone by? Are you running out of things to keep you occupied, or have you set yourself a few goals? Are you working towards anything specific right now in game? What are your goals? Tell me your goals, I want to know. Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon. You can see their names floating by on screen. If you want to join these lovely guys and gals, you can find a link in the description below. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.